So at its core, the 8 Sleep Pod is a smart mattress cover with a hub, and then it connects to an app. You put the cover on your mattress. It's kind of like a thick fitted sheet, like thinner than a mattress pad. And then you fill the hub with water, which it then circulates through the cover and uses temperature control to like warm or cool the cover. Hub connects to the app, which helps you change or allows you to change the temperature settings. And then it also tracks your biometrics. So like your heart rate, your breathing pattern, stuff like that, so that it can then like assess your sleep quality and actually make adjustments as you sleep. My pod came in 2 big separate boxes. And then as soon as I opened the box, there was a QR code on the inside, prompting me to download the app, which like walked me through all the stages of setup. Setup was really straightforward, but I did run into a couple of snags. First, the hub has a 3-prong plug, and I live in I don't know if you can see the radiator behind me. I live in a very old house, so the closest outlet that I have to the bed here is actually 2-prong. We're still working on updating all the electrical. So I had to run an extension cord across the room because I have a 3-prong outlet over there. It wasn't a huge deal, just something to keep in mind if you live in an old house. If you have older electrical, you are gonna need a 3-prong outlet. I also had trouble getting everything kind of like up and running at first. The app has like a customer service chatbot that I talked to, and that kind of walked me through some troubleshooting, even like how to reset the system, stuff like that to get it to connect. I think it's just because I live in a brick home, so we have like kind of spotty Wi-Fi in some corners, and I think just where I had the hub, I was having trouble connecting to the Wi-Fi. So I went online and I got just like a $12 Wi-Fi extender, and that seemed to like do the trick. Other than that, setup was super easy. Putting the cover on is just like putting a fitted sheet on your bed, and then you fill up the hub with water in stages. The app kind of walks you through like when to top it off, and then it runs it through the cover, and then you top off some more. You should use distilled water, it says, and I have a king size bed, and it took about 1.5 gallons of distilled water to prime the system. As far as actually sleeping on the pod goes, I was really impressed. The cover is really comfortable. It's like soft and kind of plush. Like I said, not as fluffy as like a mattress pad, so you can still feel your mattress under it, but it was actually really comfortable to sleep on. And the heating and cooling feature was like actually really cool and works surprisingly well. You can set the temperature on a scale of like -10 to +10. I personally found that like a -1, -2 was perfect for me, even in like the middle of our heat wave. But it is really fun to play around with, like setting it as low as you can or as high as you can and seeing what it feels like. Like I said before, the app tracks all your biometrics, so like your heart rate, your breathing, your snoring, and it shows you a detailed breakdown of your sleep quality for each night, including like how much time you spent in REM sleep, how many times you woke up throughout the night, how much time you slept light, stuff like that. It also has a feature called Autopilot, which automatically adjusts the temperature of the cover while you sleep to kind of keep you in that like optimal sleep zone. And you can actually set zones for either side of your bed. So if you sleep with a partner, you can track your sleep and adjust the temperature per side separately, which is a really nice touch, especially if you're like me and you both sleep at different like levels. The app also has a smart alarm, which was probably my favorite feature. You kind of choose like a 30-minute window when you want to wake up, and the hub will wake you up at the ideal time in your sleep cycle, like during that window. No more getting like yanked out of a dream, by like your blaring alarm. It kind of slowly wakes you up gently by warming up the cover. And then if you're not awake yet, or if you haven't turned it off yet, it'll vibrate when you're in like that kind of like lightest part of that 30-minute of your sleep cycle in that 30 minutes. I really did feel like I was waking up feeling less groggy and like, it sounds cheesy, but like more refreshed. Just based on that alarm alone, like I feel like it was totally worth it. And just like all the other features, you can set everything separately. When the mattress vibrates, like you can wake yourself up without disturbing your partner, which is cool, especially if you're used to the like, super loud like phone ringtone alarms. Returning the pod was also surprisingly easier than I expected it to be. The only real hiccup is that there's no like button on the app to initiate the return. You have to either call customer service or go through their chat bot. which isn't necessarily intuitive, especially when you're like planning for a rental. It's not like I purchased the system and then had to return it for some reason. But once you do initiate the return, they send you step-by-step instructions on how to return it, and it was super easy to go from there. First, you need to drain the water from the system. And it comes with this little white tool that they tell you to make sure you keep it, as well as like the original packaging if you're planning on returning this. So I already had everything like stashed away and ready. Use a little white tool to drain the water from the cover and the hub into a bucket. Roll up the cover and like dry off the hub and put them back in the boxes, and everything's pretty much ready to go. The hardest part for me was honestly just like rolling up the cover. It's kind of a combination of like folding a fitted sheet, which I don't know anyone that's good at, maybe Martha Stewart. And then also, you know, when you have to like shove a sleeping bag back into its little like drawstring pouch. I got it done. Didn't shed any tears, but that was honestly the most frustrating part of the whole process. And then they also send you like prepaid shipping labels that you can print out, or if you don't have a printer, they'll send you a QR code that you can just have the people at like UPS scan when you're ready to send it back. And then you just kind of like drop everything off and send it on its way. So I totally get that the 8 Sleep pod is a splurge. But as someone who tends to be skeptical of all the like bio-optimization type tech, I actually really do think it's worth it. I returned mine just for the sake of reviewing the process, but I honestly didn't want to. It really did make me feel like wake up feeling better rested. And I know I'm gonna miss that like warming feature in the middle of January when it's, you know, -2 degrees outside. I think that renting is a great option. It's a relatively painless way to like try out the system, figure out if you actually like it or not, especially if you don't want to splurge on just like a couple $1,000s to purchase one right away. There's a couple reasons why you could continue to rent it other than just trying it out. Rental comes with a warranty included, which you have to pay extra for, or which expires if you buy the system rather. And renting it would make it easier to upgrade it when they like inevitably launch the pod 6 and 7 and, you know, into infinity. But ultimately, if you do keep renting it, you're going to end up probably spending more money than just purchasing it outright. I can kind of see the pros and cons of both. But yeah, that's it. So if you've tried the pod or are thinking about trying it, let me know in the comments. And if you want to see more reviews like this, make sure to like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching.